Tributes have poured in for actress and comedian Catherine O'Hara, who passed away Friday at 71 years old. Among the friends and colleagues remembering her is actor and comedian John Michael Higgins, who starred alongside her in films such as Best in Show, A Mighty Wind, and For Your Consideration. John Michael Higgins joins us now to talk about his work and friendship with Catherine. Thank you so much for joining us, and so sorry for the loss of your friend. I know that you all worked together, of course, in Best in Show back in 2000. What were your first impressions when you first met her?
Well, Linsey, thank you for having me on. I'm sad and bewildered, as everybody who has ever worked with Catherine or knew her is now. And I do remember meeting her for the first time. I'm laughing because that's who she was. When you meet her, you're going to be laughing. And we were gathering in Vancouver to shoot Best in Show, and I was a giant fan of Catherine's from her SCTV days and other things, movies, of course, that she had done. But I remember we all were nervous. These movies are tricky because there's no script, right? So we have to improvise all the dialogue ourselves. And everybody quickly starts getting into their head of like, was that funny enough? Is that gonna be cut? Am I gonna make it into the movie? So Catherine was always beating up on herself. It was like, oh, I said something funnier. Oh, I was way off story there. Of course, she wasn't. She was a complete natural and a brilliant actress. I would just like to take the opportunity to say that, not just a comic actress. She was a great actress. And it was very right away. And in fact, when Catherine and I were alone in a screening room for, I believe, For Your Consideration, for some reason we hadn't seen it yet, the two of us, so we were sitting there. Oh, there's us sitting together there in the movie. And I remember at the end of it, Catherine was really sort of depressed. It was like, oh, all my jokes were cut. All my best jokes, which we always felt like with Christopher Guest movies. A lot of the stuff gets left on the floor because he just doesn't have time to put it all in. And some of it's really funny. A lot of it's really funny. And I immediately knew what that cut was about, that Christopher Guest and the editor, what they were seeing was an incredible performance by this wonderful actress, like the role of a lifetime. And they were not treating it as a light comedic performance. I encourage anyone to watch it For Your Consideration. It's really a remarkable performance from Catherine. And I bring it up because Catherine was so hard on herself for not being funny enough, which is ridiculous. She was completely funny, but she didn't even see what a natural, fine, and very joyful actor she was for all of us.
I think that humor came through the screen, even for those of us who didn't have the opportunity to know her personally. Of course, so much has been said about Catherine's work and the type of person she is. As someone who knew her well, what's something that you want people to know and remember about her?
Well, Catherine, the best way to say it is she loved to sing. She and I got along really well because we sing. And we're not professional singers. We love to express ourselves that way. She came from a very musical family. Her sisters were professional folk singers, and she was a natural harmonizer, as I am. And so we sang a lot together. And that's, in a way, how I remember her. And singing is it's one of the most joyful human activities. It's so good for you. And that's her. She would be mad at me right now for being so serious about all this. You know what I mean? She's like, come on, Michael.
More laughter.
It's not so bad. Let's sing a song, And that's who she was. I have to say, it's hard to do an interview about her. She was not a tricky person. There was nothing hidden. It was all right it was like, there she is. In fact, I remember she and I did an event, and young people were there, actors. And they asked for advice, what she said, which was, be careful when you're going into the room to audition, what foot you're going in on. Meaning, what's the bow of your ship? because it's going to be very difficult to turn that boat around if you're not being truthful about who you are. She said you have to be as respectful to yourself as the respect you hope to earn in the room.
What great advice.
Incredible, incredible thing to say to young actors.
Higgins, we thank you so much and really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Linsey. Thank you for the opportunity.